go. Hey everyone. How are your holiday festivities going? It's such a mixed bag of tricks, isn't it? Like the unpacking of the old with the awakening and trying to fit in with what everyone's traditions seem to be without rocking the boat, holding your joy, holding your peace, holding the higher vibration. And yet it's such an emotional time for many people at these times of festivities. Just try to rise above it all. Now, it goes without saying that we celebrate with things that aren't good for us. And I'm not a killjoy here. I sort of lean into taking the 80-20% myself. But the symbols of wine and bread were used for Holy Communion because both of those symbols affect the frontal lobe. Both of those symbols lower consciousness, actually. For the body to assimilate those things, we actually go into a lower vibratory state. I don't even know where today's conversation's heading to, but I wanted to mention that this Christmas season, and you won't see any Merry Christmas posts on my page, and I'm not a killjoy, I celebrate it with my family, it's important to them. But how did December 25 become the birthday for Christ? Well, December 25 was actually celebrated by the Romans for the festival of Saturnalia. And Saturnalia, thank you, Julie, I received that love, peace and joy, that every day should be a season for those beautiful gifts, and I received them from you. Thank you, beautiful friend. Yeah, the Saturnalia thing though, I really want you to research that and understand why we in New Rome, the Western cultures are part of New Rome. You'll see that on the old maps. We are still using Roman traditions actually. And Roman traditions, well, they're being upturned and it's rattling each family, because have you noticed during the last few years that you have just a few in the family that are awake and the others aren't? Now it's your job to hold the higher vibratory field. It's your job to hold, as Julie mentioned, the love, joy and peace, regardless of whether it's a holiday or not. Just hold that peace, be that peace, hold that vibratory state. Hence the symbol of the new wineskin. You need to become a new body in order to hold the new energies that are popping in. Now tomorrow is full moon. And so we have our group Sound Healing on again tonight, which is a perfect time to do our affirmations together and just bust out of these old cult. Their culture is cult. We're busting out of these old cult ways, these Roman ways that have ruled us with taxes, stolen our consciousness. They've robbed us in every single way, and that includes in our holy days. Because when Christ was actually born, there were shepherds in the field, so it wasn't the middle of winter, which is December 25th in the Northern Hemisphere. You see all of these symbols actually linking to ancient shamans and mushrooms and things that led to a higher state of consciousness. But Saturn, of course, Saturn was implemented by the Romans, and Saturnalia involves some horrid things actually, but they stole all of the colors, red being root chakra, overeating, overindulging, amplifying these 7 portals, or these 7 points within the energy points within the body that lead to the 7 deadly sins. Now, I'm not saying don't have fun with your family, I'm just saying get a grip on the emotional attachment that you have to these ancient traditions that don't necessarily involve Christ, because Christ is within. Christ is within all of us. And that's why Saturnalia get up to some cheeky things, because they know this. Now, because this Christmas has landed with these almost full moon energies, not to mention that we're off the back of the portals being opened the sacred energy is pouring in. You'll see those that are watching the charts correctly for the light codes dropping in, that it is off the Richter scale. It's off the Richter scale. But as any full moon presents, the energies intensify, and so too do ours because of fractals. So if you've had an emotional Christmas, or you've had your buttons pushed, you know, trying to celebrate with beautiful family members, by design, they're there to push your buttons, to see what you need to honor, what you need to shift. You can't fix anyone else, but you can certainly shift how you respond. You can certainly shift and ask yourself, why is that still triggering me? And stop giving energy to it. So our emotions may amplify and our desires become clearer, but we need to be aware that in this heightened energetic state that we shouldn't overindulge in the things that lower our consciousness, e.g. lots of drinking, lots of carby, sugary foods. Just have a little bit and then park yourself. Use some discipline, because the alcohol and the bready things or the carby things, processed carbs, cause a drop in the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is the part of the human brain that's involved in all sorts of higher order functions, and it's where you make decisions, actually. Things like planning, problem solving, how you respond, your motivation, your judgment, your social behaviors, your impulse control. Now, you're starting to see where by design that the corporates, in order to celebrate Saturnalia, and they do, because those leading in this New World Order, they program you to not only spend beyond your means and put all of your energy outside of you, but they insist that you consume everything that lowers your vibration, so that you are matching lower based energies for the season of Saturnalia. Now, alcohol depresses your consciousness. Alcohol lowers your body temperature, and alcohol decreases your breathing. So what do we do in meditation? We breathe in. We're breathing in the divine. Spirit rides on breath, right? Spirit rides on breath. It energizes us. It activates the soul. Akar, your light, your blood is activated by deep breathing. Deep breathing heals you. So too do eating good foods like green foods and oxygenated foods and foods that are high in minerals. But when we get to celebrate Saturnalia with lower density dead type of foods, and I celebrated with my family too, please don't hear me or misunderstand what I'm saying, is I just want you to get a grip on the knowledge of this so that we're not easily manipulated. Now, even Christ, it says in Luke 7:34, the Son of Man came eating and drinking, and you say, here is a glutton and a drunkard, a friend of tax collectors and sinners. He was mingling just as we do during these holiday seasons with those that maybe aren't awake yet. But know this, if Saturnalia is happening in full moon energies while the gates are open, that triggers will be pushed. Emotions are being pressured to be revealed. Now, in Aramaic, and the original, Christ spoke Aramaic, in the original Aramaic, apparently alcohol, the root name of alcohol comes from, where is it? I've got it, Kuhl, Kuhl, which means ghoul, all ghoul. You can look that up. And we still call strong alcohol spirits today, and I want you to ponder that, because we may say that people lose their inhibitions while they're under the guise of alcohol, and I have a glass or two myself as well. Not saying, and I've had many, many years where I didn't drink, just like I've had years of being activated without sleeping or without eating, and learning this discipline, learning this self-control. But for those that drink in order to be happy, I want you to just ponder today, what are you masking? Because that's what your family and your loved ones will see when your cognitive mind is pushed down and you're not able to have self-control. It'll be the things that crop up, which are the actual truth. The roots of the problems will come up when you are triggered, and who doesn't get triggered when they're around family? Those things will come up and bubble out, and you will not have the self-control to know how to manage those things. And I believe this is why communion was gifted, showing you the external of what's happening on the internal. Because if we're plugging into living bread, that is the body of Christ that's ascended, not this body that's really suffering and all the traumas. But if I identify with the trauma, there's a part of my ego that gets woven into it. I start making excuses because of my trauma. And yet my trauma wasn't today. That's the old me. That was yesterday. That was, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago. And I'm still making excuses because my identity is trapped in the trauma. I'm not saying I don't have compassion for the trauma. Thank you, Kristen. I'm so happy to host you tonight and have you here in my gorgeous space. Lovely. You're such a good friend to me. If I identified as the victim or identifying with the trauma still, and yet it's not mine now, I am vibrating at that state, and without this ability to handle my emotions because I'm ingesting things that lower my vibration, e.g. shitty food and lots of alcohol, I am going to reveal the true me, which spirit man is ruling my heart space, and that'll be the one that's the victim. And that's what pushes the buttons of families. But as I said, we cannot change anyone, we can only change ourselves. But if you catch yourself in this, congratulations, there's no judgment. You need the new wine, and the new wine is a symbol of the new spirit. The new wine is a symbol of getting drunk with joy. It's like having one glass of wine and you haven't had a glass of wine in a long time, and it just makes you feel all happy and fun and high vibe. It's when we overindulge. Remember I said 80-20? When we overindulge, we just drop right down to what an entity wants us to match. Kate's saying she still got triggered without the alcohol. Oh, me too, girlfriend, me too. What is it about these holiday seasons that trigger us with family, hey? What is it? Well, it's by design, because these festive dates or holy days that are set there by Rome are exactly when the portals are open. As above, so below. And you all know what happens when it's open if you've got a wound there that you haven't acknowledged yet, right? It's pokey poke poke poke, right? So all we can do is shift ourselves and hold the highest vibration in the room. Be the joy, be the love, be the light. Do what you have to do in order to keep that vibe. Because if the whole rest of the room's vibing at a lower state, you as the awakened one have a responsibility to be the highest vibration, be the joy, be the oil in the lamp, be the light. Drop the judgment, but step out of it as well. Remember, whatever we are surrounding ourselves with energetically, we are drinking in. Charlie's saying that explains the holidays so much. I know, it's sad, hey? I know I'm speaking to you guys. I know this is in my heart to speak about today. And off the back of the solstice and in between the full moon, it's a time where your emotions are heightened. It's the time when your energetic body is the most sensitive. The moon is all about your subconscious mind, right? The moon is, that's what the moon's showing you. Like when the new moon's there, you're seeding your thoughts, you're putting those thoughts into your field, and whatever you water grows, and then you reap the harvest at full moon. And The old gardeners used to do this until the Roman Catholic Church came in and even changed the calendars so that we weren't even gardening in sync with nature. Everything's been untapped, but you are an energetic being that operates the same as the luminaries do. And the luminaries, the actual energy gates within you, or your chakra points, are in sync with the planetaries. And so ancient meets modern, energies match energy, and Saturnalia, guys, that's not where it's at. And this is why you'll see so much havoc going on at Christmas time. Now, Christ mass murder, mass exodus, mass squashing down of consciousness. I'm not trying to be the killjoy, guys, but if you are awake and you're stepping out of Rome, which is the legs of the body, of the collective body, the dead body of Christ, if you've awakened, you need to be vibrating at crystalline state. That has to be holding the energies of love, joy, peace, and forever. Holding the joy is the light to the lamp. If you lose your passion for joy, your light goes out. The chemistry, the oil within you won't keep firing. It's all about what's happening in your spine, the lifting up of this Christos oil. Jesus was called the Christ, but you're the Christ too, and this is what Rome doesn't want you to know. What's Bobby saying? The Gregorian confusion no longer limits me. Now is now, and now is amazing. Bobby's onto it. Yay. All we have is now. We are manifesting from now. Every day is celebratory. This is our 1,000 years of peace. If you've stepped into the promised land, you've stepped into a higher state of consciousness. It's found in Deuteronomy 11:11. The gates are open. If you're seeing synchronicities with 11:11 all the time flashing on your clock, your phone, number plates, even when I fill up my car with my petrol, it's there, 11:11, 11:11, 11:11. This is the vibration of the gates being open to a higher state of consciousness. So whatever you're thinking, then rest assured it's going to manifest, because you are co-creating with this knowledge, and we're stepping out of Rome. Rome have been in the toes, this is the UN, of the collective body for years now. The agenda to own you, NWO spelled backwards, the agenda to own you is with these old strategies. You are emotionally attached to their holy days, and yet their holy days are linked to Saturnalia. So hold the highest vibration. Sure, I have some lunch with my family. I don't begrudge them their joy in it all. But my joy isn't in shopping at Myers or DJ's. Seriously, guys, like every day is joyful for me. I don't need a holiday from my life. I've co-created and made a beautiful life that I don't need to escape. I am holding the vibration, as Bobby's saying. And yes, the Gregorian, Gregory actually means watcher. The fallen watchers, also linking to your planetaries, also linking to your fallen angels. The Gregorian chants, you'll see where that comes from. It's a frequency. It's a frequency of mass, and Christ mass is not where it's at for me anymore. Although, you know, I'm just going to hold the joy for all of it, because every day is a holy day for me. Every day is a holiday for me. I don't need to escape lower density. I don't hate my job. I'm not angry about Moon Day or Monday. I'm at peace with all of it. I've stepped out of it systematically. Have you? And I don't need alcohol to escape. I don't need alcohol. A lot of people think I'm high all the time. I'm high on life. I choose to be that way. It's not that I haven't had trauma or a victim mind state in the past. Gosh, yeah, I've walked through the fire. But I've let the fire burn all of that, and I don't want to talk about it every day. I just want to leave the past in the past. I don't identify with the traumas that happened to me. I am forgiven, and therefore I have forgiven, and I am debt-free. I am not tethered to that energy. So if you see sparks burning at your Christmas table, it's because those people are tethered to things that happened in the past, and they're getting a kick out of it somehow unconsciously. Their identity's trapped. So we have compassion for that, but we need to put up firm boundaries. Because who are your family? Those that hear the Spirit. They don't all gather in one room for lunch. Those that hear the Spirit are quite far apart, actually. And those that hear the Spirit are hearing a calling out of Gregorian systems. They're hearing that we're birthing something new. They're hearing that there's freedom. They're hearing that you can manifest incredible things. They're hearing that you don't need drugs or alcohol. Now, if alcohol were good for you, the government wouldn't allow it, right? Alcohol lowers your vibratory state. Have one glass to cheers somebody, to celebrate, but know your limits, know your vibration. If it's masking something, then you need to ask yourself, what am I masking? Why is alcohol a band-aid for me? Why am I matching the vibration of the ghouls? Why am I matching the vibration of the spirits? Why am I matching the vibration of the Gregory? And why do I need alcohol to celebrate? Can't I celebrate just by being me? I'm fun to be around, so are you. The real inner child in you is fun, is freedom, is loved, is lovable. And how do we get free of those ghouls? We've got to face them head on. We've got to kind of accept what they're teaching us. Accept all of those ugly things that are affecting us, body, mind, and spirit, and just deal and delete and forgive ourselves mostly. Because whatever we see in another that's triggering us is actually still in us. And it won't affect you terribly if it's not in you. The vibrations are matching. So I hope this is helping you process your holy days. Hey everyone. Any questions, anyone? Or am I just rambling? I'm a bit of a rambler. Hey Paul, welcome. I haven't seen you here before. Yeah, anyway, we have maybe a couple of spots left for this evening's sound circle. If you'd like to, I'm just in awe of our beautiful community here. They've asked me to continue right through the holiday time. I thought they would want a week off at least, but they're like, no, can we keep this going? I feel really honored that we're doing this. Tonight we're going to be setting some beautiful intentions for tomorrow's full moon. And we're going to be working with consciousness, working with breath work, activating the frontal lobe. We don't want to be operating out of the back of the brain, the reptilian brain. We don't want to be matching the ghouls. We want to rise above it. We want to hold the highest vibration. If you're interested in being here, drop me a message. You have until 7 p.m. Sydney time to get to Kingsgrove. I'll save you a mat. And yes, know that you're loved. Know that this season is going, New Earth is the permanent sabbatical. Everybody will be operating from what they love doing. What brings you joy, that is your destiny. What brought you joy as a child, that's who you really are. That's what I want you to tap back into. Are you struggling to keep or maintain or even make friendships? How about looking at things a different way? Instead of blaming that, how about investing your sacred time into those things? We reap what we sow. Stop coasting along and expecting everybody to bow to your energies. Be the highest energy in the room and you'll attract great situations. You'll attract great friends. Of course, we'll lose some as they float out vibrationally. And to have a no attachment motto, which has become mine now, I don't take that personally. It's not emotional. Like if I'm choosing to do the inner work and grow, and I'm choosing to fast in areas that I know are my weak points, people will float out, and it's by design. That's how the universe works, right? It's in waves. So come tonight for a clearing. I'd love to meet you if you've never been to something like this before. We hold sacred space for your expansion, to hold your a space where you can just speak about something that you may not have ever said to somebody before without judgment. And that's how you shift. You find where the root's at, cut it, release, and then watch yourself fly. Get your wings back. They start here, my friends. And yes, joy and Christed light and peace on earth is available and accessible to everybody. And that's your birthright, regardless of the season or the day. Yeah, the calendar's been upturned over and over and over again, and so none of us really know. But rumor has it that Christ may have been born on 9/11, and back to front, 119 is the number or the vibration for divine feminine. Sit there, my friends. The hemi-syncing of the left and right brain, the left and right hemisphere firing on the highest capacity possible in your new state, your new body, your new temple, your crystalline body, which can afford to hold new wine. Spirit is pouring out in the age of Aquarius. The water bearer is pouring out water into vessels that have done the inner work and are able to hold these light codes. This is plasma activation. And so drink from the cup of living water and know that we are birthing the most incredible things using these energies of joy. Ask yourself today, what brings me joy? And tap back into that. So much love, and thank you for being here, my friends. Another storm today. I love it. Take care, and I wish you a safe and productive holiday season with loving energies to everybody that you meet and compassion for those that feel a little bit stuck in the old ways. We are creating the new. Do it imaginatively. So beautiful. The essence of your soul into all of it, and watch that become contagious. It feels really fun. Drop your judgment for those that are trapped in the old and just hold space for them. Set your loving, firm boundaries and be the role model for how to plug back into the tree of life, which doesn't have any root issues, doesn't need to wear the red suit, doesn't need to escape because you love your life. You are New Earth. I love you.